blacks and whites and yellows and purples, blues and oranges and pinks and greens. What do these things I've seen mean? Hugh, hook, a luke, whom shanti sugman, baju ammana kala ali. So, I'm starting these with a hymn, by the way. So, thoughts on excerpts for the ECK Dream 1 Discourses. The companion CD to the ECK Dream 1 Discourses by Harold Klemp has the code ENDR01 CD upon it and includes 14 clips from talks by Harold Klemp. I will attempt to offer some free thought about the excerpts for the ECK Dream 1 Discourses by Harold as I listen to it. So far, that it is at least 3 times. Would those who listened to the CD be disapproving of my commentary? A lot of them would. Would those who read my commentaries on some of the discourses or this CD be disappointed in the content of the discourses or CD? It seems a number of them certainly would. I wouldn't recommend the ECK study program to another because of its risks spiritually and mentally. Certainly, I've seen people harmed both ways through Eckankar in this life. Am I wrong? Is it worth it for you? The Universal Nature of Dreams, Part 1. From The Universal Nature of Dreams, Parts 1 and 2, 1989, ECK European Seminar, audio cassette, number 101,391, and Chapter 11 of The Dream Master, Mahanta Transcripts, Book 8, 011303. This is the number for that. Has the selection for the welcome letter. Eckankar refers to dreams as trips to heaven. Does heaven change? Really change, as Harold Klemp says? Or do we change? Dreams may often have more relevance than mere symbology, but I don't think this necessitates a belief that dreams are always an imperfect memory of a soul in a spiritual dimension. It does seem true that what we remember of the inner and outer life is real and important. I do not think we need to explain all features of difference as carryovers from past lives. Can't God determine to test us by excess or lacking? I agree that dreams are a consciousness. A Great Love for God, Part 2. From A Great Love for God, Parts 1 and 2, An Ordinary Day in the Life of Soul, 1991, ECK Worldwide Seminar, audio cassette 010531, and Chapter 2 of What is Spiritual Freedom, Mahanta Transcripts, Book 11, 011303, has the selection Lesson 1 are Dreams, this bridge to heaven. Accepting oneself as a soul and her spirit is certainly a step. When we focus on or analyze our dreams, they may become clearer as time goes on. Certainly, the ability to find meaning and purpose should improve. Dream time is shown to contain a recollection of the past. Dream study may very well have even more importance than that. We should love God for the little things in life. God does show love for creation in ways that go unnoticed. One can say that ecists do not actually work with their leader as a dream master. What do they work with beyond their own projections? Is it symbolism of dreams? Is symbolism of dreams more of something to get past or something to work on? The Dream Master, Part 1, from The Dream Master, Parts 1 and 2. 1988, ECK Worldwide Seminar, audio cassette number 101321, and Chapter 1 of The Dream Master, Mahanta Transcripts, Book 8, number 011273, has the selection for Lesson 2 are the Dream Master. Mahanta means way shower. To an extent, people only have the power we acknowledge and allow them to have. A living ECK Master or Mahanta can't actually work individually on the inner with his disciples, much less anyone else. No guru or so-called world savior can do that. Harold Klemp speaks in this talk about the inner and outer teachings, providing a layout of the inner or spiritual realms. Is this just projecting a format upon one's system of reality or consciousness? The 100th Monkey, from How the ECK Works Every Day. The 100th Monkey, Gas of God, 1987 International Youth Conference, audio cassette, number 010231, and Chapter 9 of Unlocking the Puzzle Box, Mahanta Transcripts, Book 6, number 011253, has the selection for Lesson 3 are the ways of the Dream Master. The Formula 2 technique here is saying Q once and breathing, then twice, then breathing. It's like the technique for the planes by saying Hu, a non-directed word for God, or one secret word, Vane, mine. Now the Dhammaniyakasvama chants, if I've given you a Dhammaniyakasvama chant, you can think of it in that context. Eher hahu pamlak benuit yaba. Eher hahu pamlak benuit yaba. Would be mine. Secret word number of times of the plane, and then breathing the same number of times. That would mean 1 for the physical plane, 2 for the astral plane, 3 for the causal plane, 4 for the mental or etheric plane. The etheric plane is thought of as the same as the mental plane, just a upper region of that. So, but it's thought of as like a barrier. So, but they don't need to call it a different plane. That's, there's a slight confusion when it comes to that. 5 for the soul plane or Atma lock, 6 for the Alak lock, 7 for the Alaya lock, 8 for the Hukikat lock, 9 for the Agam lock, 10 for the Anami lock, 11 for the Sugmad world, 12 for Sugmad, more for the planes beyond that, for Akshar realization of the many planes beyond that which are not realized. An important thing with dreams may be to write down even the insignificant ones as soon as you can. I would think it would be very beneficial to make a regular habit of recording one's spiritual life. Doing spiritual exercises of some sort puts more of life in that context. The Formula 2 technique certainly is a combination of focus on the physical and astral plane. One is deemed as dwelling on the level of one's initiation instead of just visiting it through techniques such as this. Does anyone visit other realms by such treatment, by such techniques? Is it all senses, emotions, memories, the intellect and intuition that really performs the journey? Either way, we can learn of a broader spectrum of life. In the Spiritual Notebook by Paul Twitchell, page 119, we find described a descent of meaning for the planes as the ocean of love and mercy, with the planes above Sugmod, or God, as a noun. Isn't it a debasement of God's position to place it lower than any reality? The Sugmod world must be like the Absolute of the Kabbalist and the Allahut of the Sufis. This is the appropriate way we deem God as revealed in the original scriptures by God's prophets. Paul Twitchell seemed to think prophets were lower than Eckmasters, of which he considered himself the 971st, and discouraged thinking of him as a prophet, from what I can see. Prophet would mean spiritually gifted. So in the English sense of the word, what does that imply? Below God is the nameless plane, inaccessible plane, the highest state soul generally reaches, the endless world, the invisible world, the dividing plane, the unconscious, the etheric plane. Kal Naranjan, God of time without fear, is said to have this to be the source of orthodox or correctly believing religions. The plane of negative reality that affects all below, Turyapad, are the source of psychic phenomenon and the occult, and Pinda, the plane of matter, are everyday life in the scientifically verifiable world. Many faiths and philosophies would deem the divisions as somewhat arbitrary, as they can all be considered to be where an individual is. The religious and not merely churchy can be said to dwell in God or with God at the times where he is in the state of absolute righteousness. And you'll see that as the red and silver symbol that I put on the channel. That's what that means. And even moments of failure may not take an individual from this station. Do you see any reason to doubt that the first 4 or 5 of these are not metaphysical at all? Some would say that the physical, psychedelic, truly metaphysical, unfallen angels, or light beings, and fire beings, or fallen angels, as they may be called, and God are present. Why should God be bound to the time-space continuum? The Eternal Dreamer, Part 1 from The Eternal Dreamer, Parts 1 and 2, 1988, ECK Creative Arts Festival, audio cassette number 101301, and Chapter 11 of The Eternal Dreamer, Mahanta Transcripts, Book 7, number 011263, has a selection for Lesson 4, are How to Remember Your Dreams. People do sometimes burn out and fail because they don't work their way into matters. Some may not remember dreams well at first. Some may not be able to keep a diary well at first. Sometimes the lessons or messages in a dream or experience may not seem much to other people, but that is no reason not to make notes. They may mean something later. Harold Klemp agrees with Al-Muslimin in this era about Friday. being a special day to do things one may do only once a week. The example he gives is writing in a dream journal. The Eternal Dreamer, Part 1, from The Eternal Dreamer, Parts 1 and 2. 1988, ECK Creative Arts Festival, audio cassette number 101301, and Chapter 11 of The Eternal Dreamer, Mahanta Transcripts, Book 7, number 011263, has the selection for Lesson 5, Our Understanding Our Dreams. Inner experiences may be strange or amazing, but Harold Klemp notices change more than anything else. The dream world is interesting, but that doesn't mean it is all beyond imagination. We should not inflate the experiences we have. Harold Klemp often disorganizes speech, and it becomes very hard to find out why something is in a talk by a particular title. Does he make light of this in order to distract from the fact that he may still have a schizophrenia category disorder? The Eternal Dreamer, Part 2. Darwin Gross, or Gross, I don't know for certain how you say that. He didn't know when giving Harold Klemp the 9th initiation that Harold Klemp was in such a position. That Harold Klemp had a history of mental illness like that. Despite, he was in a mental hospital, no background check was done, apparently, or none was done by the ECK company that was passed on to Darwin Gross, the second historical leader of ECK. The Eternal Dreamer, Part 2, from The Eternal Dreamer, Parts 1 and 2. 1988, ECK Creative Arts Festival, audio cassette number 101301, and Chapter 12 of The Eternal Dreamer, Mahanta Transcripts, Book 7, number 011263, has a selection for Lesson 6, or How to Interpret Your Dreams. Attitudes of dream characters may help one to identify who you were dreaming about. Does a bad dream really mean others are out to get you? Do others really intrude on your inner world? It seems true that we may be able to handle more exposure to factors as we develop, though. Charlie and Moon, from It Matters to This Starfish, Charlie and Moon, the First Year of the Chariot. 1987, Worldwide Seminar, audio cassette, number 101271, and Chapter 2 of the Eternal Dreamer, Mahanta Transcripts, Book 7, number 011263, has the selection for Lesson 7, Our Dreams in Our Daily Life. ECK, in the context of this talk, is God's speech through light and sound. The sound scheme for the realms, according to the current Eckankar teaching, goes outwards as Araya, upon, power, Kala, time, Mana, mind, Baju, seed, Sugmad, God we seek, Shanti, peace, Hum, put forth, Aluk, ambassador, invisible, compounds, Aloke means light in Sanskrita, Huk, a breathing hop, means truth, Who, it, are the pronoun, and it's also a word who is invoking, or I guess invoking too, in Sanskrit. But it, or a pronoun, is a non-descriptive word for God, is the Eckankar lingo here. The goal is to listen and identify till one can turn off the lower sounds, till one hears the so-called sound beyond all. Is this really A larger room. From sunshine and sparkle. The right of choice. A larger room. 1994. ECK Worldwide Seminar. Audio cassette number 0. Why do I keep making that mistake? Number 101691 and Chapter 3 of The Secret Love. Mahanta Transcripts, Book 14, number 011333. I guess at some point maybe I should do a 333 video, shouldn't I? Has the selection for Lesson 8, or How We Learn in the Dream State. Plans to go somewhere makes one wonder who is involved. Initiations are supposed to be exposure to areas where you don't know something. Harold Klemp talks about how ECK masters and all human masters are not omniscient. Wouldn't you also agree that it is also silly for such individuals to claim they have power to control people who don't believe in or they don't even know of? Wouldn't you agree that even the best of people have more to accomplish in life before the death of the body? Sometimes a person might learn something in a dream that they don't have conscious recollection beforehand. Sometimes the circumstance around the dreamer provides for the recollection to occur. I have also found it sometimes influences the dream itself. The first ECK initiation is said to usually come in the first year of Eckankar membership. You know, I've already shared about that in other programs, haven't I? Sometimes the circumstance around the dreamer provides for the recollection to occur. I've also found it sometimes influences the dream itself. Or some of the dream, they don't even have conscious recollection beforehand. The first ECK initiation is said to usually come in the first year of Eckankar membership when a person has committed to the ECK study program. The actuality is this happens when corporate sees someone, you know, the C in ECK being corporate probably, sees someone has ordered the second year of membership. The ECKist is usually a person that will perform spiritual exercises without knowing the meaning of even the words involved. Is such blind repetition really such a good idea? Harold Klemp is right about there always being another step and different levels of consciousnesses. Even if you don't believe, there are ECK masters on other planes of existence. Lessons and Blessings, 2006, ECK Worldwide Seminar, audio cassette number 102121, CD number 102131, DVD number 202332, and The Master's Talks in the Year of Giving, 2006, 2007, number 019074, has a selection for Lesson 9 are Our Dreams of Purpose. Spiritual practices before sleeping can help even people with no belief in the afterlife, with sleep disorders, get a good night's sleep. Harold Klemp explains unexplained pains with occurrences in past lives. Sometimes this idea doesn't scare children. Sometimes dreams seem more real than regular life. Family sharing in spiritual practice and experiences can be very good for them. There may be a clear recollection of doing something or being something in a dream that one has never been or done. Does it make more sense to deem this a past life are the imagination. The Dream of Life. From The Dream of Life, Lessons from the Master, 1988, ECK European Seminar, audio cassette number 101311, and chapter 13 of The Eternal Dreamer. Mahanta Transcripts, book 7, number 011263, has the selection for lesson 10 are gifts of the Dream Master. Dreams of the future may not be at all prophetic dreams. Muhammad the Prophet taught that the prophetic dream is one of the parts of prophethood that will remain with humans after he dies. Sometimes a dream has a lesson like not fighting the inevitable or not letting anything bother you that doesn't need to. What seems to be prophetic may very well be another insight into one's self or life. Does Harold Klemp really expect people to seriously think he is controlling everyone's dreams? The tools to deal with dreams and experiences in Eckankar are not unique to that group, as far as I can tell. Unless you mean something very specific, like a particular term, like they've changed the spelling of some Persian or some Farsi or Sanskrit word to be an Eckankar term. Or they don't pronounce Arabic or something correctly. Dreamland, Have It Your Way, Part 1. From Dreamland, Have It Your Way, Parts 1 and 2, 1989, ECK Springtime Seminar, audio cassette number 101341, and chapter 6 of The Dream Master, Mahanta Transcripts, book 8, number 011273, has a selection for lesson 11 are looking at our past. Do people really make appointments to meet up in non-physical planes? Is the truth behind souls have no past or future? Be that we are to live in the present. I think using creativity to figure out the dream as it goes along sounds a lot like lucid dreaming. Is Harold Klemp pretending when he claims to remember what people write him claiming to forget about? It sure seems like he went out of his way to invent an experience around one of his main interests, the Old West. The Road to Spiritual Freedom, 2002 ECK Worldwide Seminar, audio cassette number 102021, DVD number 202252, has the selection for lesson 12 are Dream Travel to Soul Travel. The distinction between dream and soul travel seems arbitrary. If soul goes out when we sleep, we may be aware of it at times. If a dream is like being awake, it may just mean we are more conscious of it. Sometimes we may remember an experience where our own nature or reactions will be found on others, and we should identify that when it occurs. The Universal Nature of Dreams, Part 2, from The Universal Nature of Dreams, Parts 1 and 2, 1989, ECK European Seminar, audio cassette number 101391, and chapter 12 of The Dream Master, Mahanta Transcripts, book 8, number 011273, has a selection for the What's Next letter. Spiritual goals may very well have material value. Dreams and creative imagination is best used and may be bestowed on us for the purpose of connecting to God, to whom all returns. And so one of the things that we see is, what does ECK mean? Well, ECK could mean whatever is spiritual. It could mean the angels. It could mean very specifically the Holy Spirit. It could mean God as a noun. It could mean something to do with the corporation. And so, whatever that means for you, Ennead, Eckankar is said to be, so the E, Ennead, corporate, certainly under the second living Eckmaster, or somebody called that, it became very corporatized, and it ended up making a lot more money, like 100 times as much, I think, under Darwin Gross as it did under Paul Twitchell. I mean, what the organization was worth, it was worth millions at the end, and it was worth like 50,000 or something when Paul Twitchell died. Kinesis, something that changes a person. So, go eck yourself.